Hello, BookTube. This is Alan. We come today with a book tag. This is the Pie tag, which is created by the Literary Gladiators. Nobody tagged me, and I don't think they did. So if they did, I apologize for not going up on this. Temperature here had a cold front come in yesterday, lowered the temperatures from 97 to 96. So let's get on with this. It's 15 prompts. Excuse me. The first one is Apple. Work that sings the praises of America. And that would be, I would pick Ted Morgan, Wilderness at Dawn, The Settling of the North American Continent, Simon Schuster. This one, I haven't read this one yet. Just read the back, the dust jacket here. It says Morgan takes us to the world of the lost Anazani people, where inventive Indians built houses of 500 rooms, veritable cities of stone tucked along the canyon walls. It takes us into the lives of the Indians of the Southwest, where a shipwrecked Spanish explorer named Cabeza de Vaca became an indentured servant to the tribe of Indian fishermen. We see the arrival of the first Jews in North America, the harsh hierarchies of the Puritans, and the inconsistencies of the rice planter societies early 1700s in Carolina. So this is it says Simon Schuster book, and let's see when it came out. It might be a book club. Pages stuck together here. Just a moment. All right, here we are. 1993. Something called the Black Frontier, the Frontiers, Chesapeake Frontier, the Puritan Pilgrim Frontier, the French Frontier, Spanish Presence. Yeah, the Wilderness at Dawn. The next prompt is Cherry, work that helped you develop a great understanding of your country. I was going to pick the People's History of the United States, but instead I went with The Big C by Langston Hughes. This is his autobiography of him growing up in Mississippi and going over to New York at the time, during the 1920s. Yeah. The next prompt is Blueberry, a book read you could probably finish on one visit. And that would be probably short stories. That would be Herman Melville's four short novels. Bartleby is my favorite. Bartleby the Scrivener. If you've never read Bartleby, you should. It's good. Billy Budd and I think Cantata is Star of the Enchanted Olives. A couple of short reads, which would be good. Number 4, Pumpkin. A work that would make a great November book club read. I'm not into seasonal reads. I know a lot of people read hard during the time of October, November. So I would pick for horror. I would go with Truman Capote's In Cold Blood, and yeah, it's just a masterpiece of how he went about and spoke to a couple of the person that was involved in the senseless murder that took place in the Midwest. The next prompt is Pecan, a writer that does the best job of writing about the American South, and that would be, keep reaching back here on my bed to get the book, sorry. That would be William Faulkner's, and this is his book, Intruder in the Dust. He's written several books. Absalom is probably one of his favorites, Sound and Fury, and this is a mass market paperback by Vintage Books, and it came out 1948. So that's William Faulkner. Number 6, Sweet Potato. A work that responded to something, or a work that you read that either changed your mind about something, and that would be I forgot the name of it again. There's a book by Erik Larson. One of his he wrote a nonfiction book, and he's the writer of Devil in the White City. That's where he became famous. That's what he became famous for, Devil in the White City. But the nonfiction book is called Lethal Passage. And Lethal Passage talks about the whole debate about gun violence. Whether, get rid of guns, or NRA doesn't want you to get rid of guns. NRA is one of the biggest lobbyists in Congress. And yeah, and so Lethal Passage changed my view of gun ownership, and of guns in particular. And so that I don't own guns. Can't stand them. Number 7, Key Lime. A study that you could take to read to the beach. I don't go to the beach. I don't like beach. I prefer the mountains instead. You got a lake there, and trees, pine trees, real quiet. It's out there in nature is better than getting sunburned and walking over beer cans and stuff like that. So take to the beach, but instead we'll go with let me see. I really don't have a kind of a beach read, a summer read. Trying to think. I thought I had one out here. Oh well, I'm gonna go ahead and skip that one. Number 8, Boston Cream. Good. Gross. A work you could work you up to reading from a non-preferred genre. That would be science fiction work. This is Ray Bradbury's Dandelion Wine. It's a very short work. I just don't read a lot of science fiction. I'm starting to read more science fiction. One book I read was a couple of years ago. I read a book by a science fiction author, and I can't remember his name. Can't remember. I think it's like The City on the Edge of Tomorrow, or On the Edge of the World, something like that. And it dealt with a nuclear blast that blew the city into the future. And the inhabitants of the city go from that city, they go to a dome city, and then they communicate with someone. And that communication, they come down to have what you saw in Star Trek novels with that kind of flip phone to communicate. And the ship comes down, and there's a person, one of the creatures that get off the ship. One is dressed like a Wookiee, but he's not called a Wookiee. And then some of the people go back to the city, and the original city, not the dome city, and one person decides to go with these people to their planet where they have pod races. So you get Star Trek and Star Wars reference in this book. It came out in the 1950s, I believe. I forgot the author's name. Let's move on. What was that? Oh, that was number 8. Number 9, Macaroni. Macaroni pie? Seriously? No. We call it casserole. down here in the South. No such thing as macaroni pie. People up north are strange. A comfort read that could be enjoyed by others. Oh, let me see what we got. Thought I had it here. Comfort read. I can't find it. I'm not going to answer that. If I can find something offhand, I'm not going to answer that one because macaroni it's not a pie, it's a casserole. I can, probably this one here, the Maricaster Bridge by Thomas Hardy, which I'm about halfway through. I've heard it's very good. Thomas Hardy is very good, so I'll go with this one. That was Moon Pie. A work you can see yourself picking up at the shop with a drink. Well, it'll probably be a real short one again. That would be a short one again. I'm gonna go with well, maybe not short, probably like a mystery or something like that. A thriller. I'm gonna go with Fool's Die by Mario Puzo, the author of The Godfather. And you're still in the Sicilian era, and yeah, this is a mass market paperback. It's published by Signet Publishing. The next one is let me see, I'm getting out of word here. Pizza. Alright, here we go again. People up in the Northeast call they don't call it pizza, they call it pie. It's like, hey Jodadio, give me pie. Give me a slice of the pie. And we don't do that down here, we just call it pizza. And they probably eat with a knife and fork up there too. A writer that does great long and short works as well as thick and thin books that eliminates Stephen King right off the hand. I'm going to go with G.K. Chesterton. He's written this autobiography. He also wrote this book, St. Thomas Aquinas. He wrote a huge book on theology. He's written Farmer Brown's stories. He's written several other short stories. So yeah, G.K. Chesterton. Number 12. Almost through. Oh, wow. That's weird. It's only 13 minutes. Whipped Cream, a work that is in your face with its message. I didn't get stumped again. Yeah. I really can't think of one, actually. In your face with his message. I can't think of one, actually. There are a lot of works and books that I've read that are not really in your face, but they have kind of a message that is hidden that you probably won't catch it. Like To Kill a Mockingbird. About 90% of people that review that book on Goodreads get it wrong. The Exorcist. They have people who read that book get it wrong. I don't really have an in-your-face type message. Sorry. Number 13, American. Now, this isn't a pie. This is actually based on the movie American Pie about warning teenagers. So I'm going to skip this one. However, no, wait a minute. It says the work that does a great job using allegory. That could be a lot of authors. You could have Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. You could have C.S. Lewis, who did The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and the other books in the Chronicles of Narnia series. You could have the author he wrote 1984, George Orwell, and there's a lot of other writers that uses allegory. Sometimes it's very subtle. You can't see it. Okay, number 14, favorite kind of pie. I actually don't like pies that have a lot of meringue or cream on it. And I like a pie that has a double crust. And, you know, the crust on top and the bottom, and then one on the side. And because I like to eat out the filling first, and then eat the crust later on, instead of eating the crust along with either the apple or the cream cherry or something. I don't like blueberry. In fact, I don't like cherry either. I can eat it, but I don't like it. Chess pie is good. There are meat pies that are not mentioned here, like shepherd pie is very good, and some others. And yeah, meat pies are not mentioned here. They're very good. Apparently, they don't have meat pies up in the north. What others we have? What are the pies? Minced meat is not mentioned here. That's a favorite around Thanksgiving. Besides pumpkin, which I don't like. It's kind of bland. And yeah, so that's it. And 15 was just to tag people. Since, okay, if you haven't done this tag, feel free to do it. And thank you for watching. Thank you for comments. And take care.